Greetings, Tommy Underhill. I'm the adult ADHD and autism coach at Littleton Couples Counseling. Today I want to start a series that I'm going to be doing called Sex on the Autism Spectrum. This is part 1. Some people believe that publicly perceived disabilities, and I say that in quotes, like autism, prevent a person from experiencing a life as a sexual being. That belief is categorically untrue on all accounts. And I will attest to the ability of people with autism to have deep relationships and a fulfilling sex life. Let's talk about adult autism and sexuality for a minute. Autism does not make a person asexual or lacking in sexual desire, sexual curiosity, or sexual feelings. People with autism will experience sex and sexuality differently than neurotypical folks. That's true. However, just like neurotypical folks, people with autism will identify all across the sexuality and gender spectrum from cis to asexual and everything in between. Having a conversation about sex with anyone with autism should be no different than having a conversation with a neurotypical person. Make it chronological, emotional, and mental age appropriate. Sex is natural and should be enjoyable, even for people on the autism spectrum. However, help them to know that sexual behaviors are private and should only involve consenting adults. They have autonomy over their bodies and what happens to them. If yes is no key answer, then so is no. Let's talk about talking about sex, adult autism, and sexuality. Many people find talking about sex and sexuality to be a difficult conversation. Our practice is filled with people who have experienced shame, guilt, and judgment around their sexuality, often from people that they love and trust. Littleton Couples Counseling is a sex-positive group of therapists and coaches who want to empower people to enjoy their sex lives. A fulfilling sex life is a multifaceted goal, with the physical act of intercourse being only one ingredient in the recipe. Having someone you feel safe with is paramount for a healthy, facts-based dialogue. When advertising, movies, pornography, and social media are allowed to be a person's primary sex educator, they can experience a false sense of physical normalcy that may exacerbate feelings of inequality. They believe they will never live up to how big, how tiny, how this, or how that they see. This exposure often depicts sex without intimacy, communication, or consent. Communication is paramount, especially when there are words that lead to feeling misunderstood, hurt, or angry. A wise, tenured businessman summed it up this way: it's really demeaning to think that, in this deep desire to be liked, you've compromised giving clear, unambiguous feedback. We provide a safe, moderated environment here at our practice to help you learn to set boundaries and communicate in healthier ways. These tips can be helpful when discussing sex, sexuality, and sexual feelings with a person with autism. First and primary, let them know that you will make a safe place where they can discuss their feelings and that they can ask any questions about sex and sexuality. Promise them there is no such thing as a stupid question about sex or sexuality. Communicate openly and honestly. Utilize facts-based sources and avoid guilt, shame, or judgment. As we say in the trade, don't yuck on their yum. Talk about appropriate and inappropriate behaviors and places. Help them to understand that if yes is an okay answer, like I said earlier, then so is no. Teach them how to communicate with a sexual partner about the things they do and do not enjoy. Some of those with people with autism may have nothing to do with sex. And that is okay. Explain that sexual desires are not carved in stone. It is natural to have times where they may want more of something and other times where they want less of it, or not at all. Just like food, sex and wants come and go. Let them know that it is completely okay to not know everything you might like, and experimentation over time is also okay. Something they like today may not be what they like tomorrow. Speak with them about boundaries and how to discuss these with a sexual partner. Role play if you need to. Let them know they deserve to be treated with respect by any prospective sexual partner. Any conversation about sex will not be complete unless it addresses elements of safe sex, including contraception and infection prevention. This is not the only thing to talk about. It will leave them turning to typically media, pornography, friends, people who may not have all the answers. Let's shift over to adult autism and sexual development and sexuality. Adult autism is a condition of the brain that does not affect physical development. People with autism will experience puberty, develop secondary sex characteristics, and most will have an interest in sex, just like every other normal person out there. In my opinion, any lack of sexual knowledge that someone with autism may have, or discomfort around sexuality, is most likely due to external social factors such as difficulties with communication, difficulties with social interactions, insufficient sexual education or false and unhealthy information, ableism that assumes people with autism do not have sexual feelings, stereotypes and stigmatizations, exclusion from social interaction. However, some aspects of autism may lead to challenges, and we will dive into those in the next installment of Sex on the Autism Spectrum. Thanks for watching. Leave comments of what you would like us to cover in the comments, and please subscribe. From there, if you have questions, post them in the comments below, and we'll see if we can get to them quickly. Thanks for watching.